Hey folks, as 2017 draws to a close, I thought I'd give my roundup of my top 5 logo redesigns of the year. Some of this year's logo redesigns have been controversial, especially where it involves fan bases. It's really split them down the middle 50-50. Although I think when you're going to redesign a logo, you should shake up the status quo a little bit anyway. Really go to town and make an impact with the redesign. So let's make a start with one of those logos. So here it is, it's the Formula One logo. Now I love this new logo. I always thought that the previous logo had a bit of a dated feel to it. You know, it was created in 1987 and it really didn't last well past the 1990s. It just has that look about it that it's from that era. The new Formula One logo has been designed for the 21st century. It's been designed as a logo which will work with other logos and icons. When you look at Formula One, it's just surrounded by sponsorship. And the old logo really got lost in all of that, whereas the new design is much more fitting. It works well with all of these other brand identities and brand icons. It fits in. It's an icon in itself. The new logo is much more adaptable and much more versatile than the old one, and it's definitely more iconic. I do believe that the people who currently hate the design will get on board after 1 or 2 seasons and actually see the logo in use. Too many people make decisions on logos just by looking at it on a white page. It's all about the usage and how it's evolved into the whole brand. Let's see it on signage, let's see it on uniforms, let's see it on the racing helmets, let's see it on awards. There's lots of places for it to be used, and I think we'll find that it works much better than the old one. This new logo gets across movement, as did the old one. The old one kind of had those arrows in it which kind of gave across speed. This new one emulates the racetrack with a hairpin bend, creating the F and the 1 being the finish line. I love that. I love the movement of kind of coming up the F and sweeping around the hairpin corner, heading towards that finish line. I think it's really simple, and as I've often talked about, simple can be hard to do. But I think the team behind this have done an excellent job. Formula One is more than just a sport these days. It is a lifestyle choice for many. And as such, this new logo will lend itself well to merchandise and clothing. The old logo, you could have it on a breast pocket or something, and it was, you know, it was there. It had to be there in its entirety. With the new logo, you can take elements of it and spread it out over an item, and you still get that feeling of the icon itself, even if you're only seeing a part of it. So why not stick with another logo which really shook up its fan base, and that was this logo here, the Juventus football team logo. Now, football teams always have a long history, and they have an absolutely loyal fan base. So it's a brave move whenever you decide to tweak the logo for a football club. And what Juventus did with this latest redesign of their club was not just tweak it, they went to town and created something entirely different. This redesign was a huge shock to a lot of Juventus supporters, and there were petitions and boycotts and saying that they were going to burn their season tickets. I'm pretty sure some people did, because they were so angry about what had happened in this redesign. Out went the classic shield emblem, and in came this stylized letter J. At first glance, it may just look like a letter J, but when you look more closely, it harks back to that club shield. It incorporates the black and white stripes. And the first internal J, if you mirrored that across, you would have a shield. A lot of thought's gone into this new logo design for Juventus. They've been careful with how they've developed it. They have brought in a lot of that history and tradition of the old club badges. It's just that it looks so modern to some that it feels like they haven't thought about that and they've just gone ahead with some modern looking icon. Like Formula One, the larger football clubs are global brands, and as such they're looking to sell a lot of merchandise. Juventus has moved beyond being just a football team into this global brand, and the new logo redesign works very well to help them on that journey. Next up, we've got the Udemy redesign. Udemy has for a long time been one of my go-to websites when I need to hone my skills in a specific area of design, or I want to deepen my knowledge on a specific topic. As such, I was very familiar with the previous Udemy logo design. It never wowed me, it was always just there and I recognised it for what it was. When I saw the new logo when it was introduced, I was really impressed. I could tell that they'd really thought about it and they'd taken into account the importance of their students, their customers, the ones who interact with the website and the brand, the ones who are there to learn. But they've also not forgotten the teaching side, the lecturers, the ones who provide that content as well. They incorporated more of the brand story, going so far as to have their primary colour representative of the city where it all began. And they've also increased the colour palette to include other emerging cities from around the world, showing how global Udemy is as a brand. I like how they now have an icon and a word mark, whereas previously they just had the word mark. By having that separate icon, it allows them to use that in their brand marketing in ways that the previous design wouldn't have allowed. That U-shape can become part of a photo, sweeping through it, interconnecting with items and people inside of that photograph. Showing a path through the photo, showing the journey, the learner's journey. The animated monogram also really works well, with the lines coming on from stage left and stage right to meet in the middle, representing the student and the lecturer. It's a really successful redesign for Udemy, and that's why it's in my top 5. YouTube have also redesigned their logo this year, although it's probably more subtle than what we've previously seen in this video. The red shape, which used to sit underneath the word tube, has now been moved over to the left so that it sits in front of the word mark, simplifying it. That red mark now has a play button overlaid over the top of it. A simple change, but one which reflects our more digital world as opposed to harking back to the old TV sets and TV tubes of the past. A bit like the Udemy logo, by creating and separating out this icon from the word mark, it gives YouTube more versatility in how they can use their logo. With people watching videos on all manner of devices, different screen sizes and resolutions, the ability to just use the icon helps keep everything on screen simple and clear. And that's what YouTube are trying to do by simplifying their logo down. And now onto the final logo in my top 5 of 2017, and it's the one for ugly drinks. It won't surprise you if you are a regular viewer of my videos that this is in there. I dedicated a whole video to the ugly drinks redesign and rebrand, and I just absolutely love it. I think I'd go as far as to say is that this is my #1 choice for logo redesign of the year. I just love everything about what they've done. The word mark, the icon, the playfulness of it all. The logo may not be as ugly in looks as it was previously, but what it loses in looks, it gains in attitude. That ugly attitude, which you can see throughout their marketing materials. If you want to get my full thoughts on the Ugly Drinks redesign, check out the video. I'll leave a link in the description below, and if you're watching this on YouTube, you should see a link on screen as well. Well, that's it for this video, folks. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank everyone that's subscribed and or watched my videos this year. It's been a crazy journey, and I hope that you've learned a bit more about brand and brand design. Look out for more of the same in 2018 with some other new stuff thrown in as well. I'll be doing logo critiques and also some live sessions. So, in saying that, if you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button, give this video a like, check out the other videos on my channel, and until I see you again in 2018, stay creative, folks.